My dishwasher's been with me a long time. He comes from a culture where he knows life is unfair. He calls the cops, they rob him. You know, he comes from a culture where food is already important, where he's already, chances are, responsible for other people. Maybe family members back in Mexico, family members here, comes from a culture that revolves largely around food, who's used to looking after others, and who is also used to the fact of la puta vida, of this bitch of a life. It comes from a culture where they write songs about it, who can find beauty and irony and something to even, something beautiful in this often tragic and almost always unfair world. Hugely, hugely important.
Picture a workspace filled with boiling liquids, sharp knives, open flames, and a relentless stream of immediate deadlines. The professional kitchen is one of the most intense, unforgiving, high-pressure test labs for management on Earth. Anthony Bourdain is widely remembered as a legendary chef and storyteller, but behind the pass, he was a master manager, leading diverse, misfit crews through high-stakes television productions and brutal restaurant shifts. Bourdain cultivated intense loyalty by implementing a strict, performance-based ecosystem where output outweighed credentials or professional background. By extracting his specific methods, we can identify a concrete 5-step blueprint to fix broken team cultures and boost performance. This kitchen brigade approach focuses on stripping away office politics and streamlining the line of command. It provides a framework for managing the high-pressure variables that exist in any professional team. Step 1 starts before the work begins. A common flaw in hiring is over-prioritizing pre-existing technical skills and resumes while ignoring the baseline traits needed to survive the daily grind. Bourdain used immediate, practical filters to gauge preparedness. If a candidate showed up to an interview and had to borrow a pen to fill out the application, they instantly failed the test. Punctuality was treated with the same severity. Showing up on time is the ultimate indicator of self-respect and reliability. If you can't be trusted to be on the floor, you can't be trusted with the work. You can easily teach a willing employee how to dice a vegetable or operate a machine. You cannot teach an adult fundamental character. Screening for these basic traits creates a foundation of mutual respect. When everyone on the team has passed the same character filters, the real work can actually begin. Step 2 is implementing an absolute meritocracy. This system removes conventional office politics and biases, caring only about a team member's actual output and their loyalty to the group. For the system to hold, a leader must reward hard work and reliability evenly, ensuring the top performers see the benefits of their effort. There is a required dark side to this. You must punish errors and laziness with the same absolute consistency. Team members who are competent but lazy are particularly dangerous. Keeping them around signals that the bare minimum is acceptable, eventually dragging the entire team's performance down to that level. A performance-based system relies on a binary flow. High output earns advancement, while incompetence is efficiently removed. This transparency eliminates resentment among top performers, who no longer feel exploited to cover for lazy colleagues. Enforcing a true meritocracy is the only way to ensure the burden of the work is distributed fairly across the entire team. Step 3 is forging Esprit de Corps. The goal is to transform a brutal, high-pressure job into a source of intense pride, where the team sees themselves as an elite unit capable of handling what others can't. During the service period, the peak hours of your workday, the only priority is execution. You push through the crisis without stopping to debate or complain. Feedback happens later. Bourdain used an after-action review, taking the team out after a shift to calmly dissect mistakes and successes when pressure was off. This rigid separation prevents toxic meltdowns in the heat of the moment, allowing for honest, blunt criticism without damaging the team's momentum during the workday. This elite camaraderie makes the team feel like the toughest people in the building, which directly elevates the quality of their final product. Step 4 requires a leader to physically commit to the team. This means showing up earlier, leaving later, and enduring the same difficult conditions as your crew. You buy respect by taking on the unglamorous trench work yourself. When a leader isn't afraid to get their hands dirty, teams don't complain. However, you must balance this with active delegation. A leader who tries to do everything themselves will eventually break the team's capacity to scale. Micromanagement is a burnout trap. Refuse to trust your crew with major responsibilities, and the entire operation grinds to a halt under your friction. Supporting your team's innovative ideas and giving them the space to execute them builds long-term ownership. Shared suffering buys a leader's respect, but delegating responsibility is what builds the team's actual strength. Step 5 is the reset. A leader must protect the dignity of their team members, even when the environment is failing. In high-pressure work, tempers will flare and bad calls will be made. Managers will inevitably cross a line or make a decision that undermines subordinates. Bourdain's strict policy was to apologize immediately and unreservedly to subordinates when he crossed that line. Taking ownership of your mistakes is the most effective hack for long-term loyalty. It ensures that an employee never goes home feeling like a fool for having worked hard for you. This 5-step playbook is a framework for high performance. Hire for character, enforce a meritocracy, build elite pride, suffer alongside your team, and own your mistakes. The end state is a fiercely loyal crew capable of pitching innovative ideas and executing them at the highest level without constant supervision. Contrast this unified unit with standard, low-performing environments, where hierarchy and politics routinely stifle potential and output. Identify one area where you are currently disconnected from your team's daily grind, and find a way to step into the trenches with them tomorrow. True leadership relies on an elite machine fueled by shared standards, open communication, and earned respect.
Camaraderie is everything. Everything. The work is often brutal, degrading, underpaid, underappreciated, and you are working in an uncomfortable, hot, smelly workspace. It helps if you feel, at the end of the night, like an elite. You may go home stinking like smoked salmon and garlic, but you feel like you were the toughest ass motherfucker on the subway. You feel like you deserve that seat. You worked harder than anybody, you're stronger, you're faster, you know how to do something that other people can't do. And by any means necessary to build that kind of camaraderie within your crew is a very, very desirable thing. Without camaraderie, you don't have pride. Without pride, you have bad food. Nothing worse in this world than seeing an employee or a cook lose their pride. You know, the days when, you know, it is no coincidence that we're actually eating better. As annoying as this celebrity chef phenomena is, as excruciating as I might find the naked chef, you got to admit, we're eating better now. Why? Because people would never think of spitting in the soup anymore. It's been 25 years since I've seen anyone spit in soup. Why? Because there's actually, for the first time, you know, a real chance of advancement, hope, prestige, and money attached to this business. That helps. So make your team feel like an elite.